Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Our opening press conference will begin momentarily. Again, please take your seats. Our opening press conference is about to begin. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, that was a powerful good morning. I'm Yolanda Rain. I'm the Vice President of Marketing and Communications here at the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation. And it is my honor to welcome you to the opening press conference for the 54th Annual Legislative Conference. Each year, ALC is more than a gathering. It's a movement. And this year, under the theme, Made for This Moment, Power, Policy, and Progress, we are reminded of the urgency and responsibility of this moment in time. At a critical moment for our nation, in the face of the challenges and that continue to confront Black America, this conference is more relevant than ever before. For more than 5 decades, the CBCF has convened leaders, advocates, change makers, and everyday community members to not only reflect on the issues, but to chart a path forward. What makes this year's opening press conference unique and more powerful is that we are bringing this press conference into the community here at Sycamore and Oak. By doing so, we stand in unity and in solidarity with civil rights leaders, social justice advocates, and partners who have long been on the front lines of progress. Today, you'll hear from them alongside the leadership of the Congressional Black Caucus and of the Foundation, all lifting up the same theme and message that we are all indeed made for this moment. Together, we'll highlight how the CBC and the CBCF continues to rise to meet the challenges before us, and how this conference remains a vital platform in providing information, insights, and the tools needed to strengthen and support our communities. With that, it is my pleasure to introduce someone who understands deeply the importance of community and the power of this moment. She's a dedicated advocate for all communities and chair of the Congressional Black Caucus and the representative of New York's 9th Congressional District. Let's welcome Congresswoman Yvette D. Clarke.
Thank you very much, Yolanda. Let me just, from the outset, say what a beautiful morning and good morning to each and every one gathered here. Good morning. That's what I'm talking about. I am Congresswoman Yvette D. Clarke, proudly representing New York's 9th Congressional District, and I have the distinct honor of serving as chair of the Congressional Black Caucus for the 119th session of Congress. I am excited to welcome you to the 54th Annual Legislative Conference, and we are extremely happy to be here at Sycamore, where we know that the community continues to gather and where we know that our presence makes a statement. We could be at the convention center in this moment, but we know that we are made for this moment, and this moment demands that we are here in the community, the beloved community, and that we stand firm with the people of the District of Columbia as they go through the challenges that are presented by the current administration. And we stand with the leadership of the District of Columbia. This year's theme is a charge and not a slogan. We are made for this moment because our communities demand it. We are made for this moment because democracy depends on it. We are made for this moment because we carry a legacy of courage, conviction, and change. The Congressional Black Caucus is not just an institution, it is a movement. The work of the CBC has prepared us for this moment through our leadership, our advocacy, and the relentless pursuit of justice and equity. For more than 50 years, the CBC has stood as the conscience of the Congress, challenging the status quo and shaping policies that impact the future of our nation. Every day, the CBC works to hold the federal government accountable to Black communities, fighting for equitable criminal justice policies, protecting voting rights, and securing meaningful investments in education and economic opportunity, and pushing back against efforts to occupy our neighborhoods with federal law enforcement. Our communities deserve security, respect, and self-determination, not intimidation. This is what being made for this moment looks like. Before I go further, though, I would like to take a moment to recognize my colleagues of the Congressional Black Caucus who are here with us today. Would you please stand? Hello? I was like, am I missing something? I do want to acknowledge our Chair Emeritus, Congresswoman Joyce Beatty of Ohio, everyone. Your leadership, your advocacy, and your courage on the foundation is the foundation of everything we do. So I want to thank each and every one of you for being here this morning. Our work is far from finished. In a way, it's a new beginning, because we have crossed the Rubicon in this nation. And across the country, efforts to roll back fundamental rights and silence Black voices persist. However, we will not be deterred. We know that the progress of Black America is inseparable from the progress of America herself. And we are here to ensure that progress continues. The ideas exchanged, the strategies developed, and the partnerships forged here during the annual legislative conference will reverberate far beyond this week. Together, we are shaping an agenda not just for the Congressional Black Caucus, but for the future of our nation. It is in this spirit of urgency and optimism that I am honored to introduce two extraordinary leaders. Actually, one extraordinary leader. And she is a woman who has put her all into leadership, has galvanized community across the board in liaison and in partnership with civil rights organizations, with community. She is the leader of our foundation who continues to pour into our young people opportunity to not only participate in the internships and fellowships of our foundation, but to establish an alumni association that makes sure that those who have been able to have this very unique experience continue to be in community, not only with the communities in which they serve, but in community with all of us. And so it is my honor and my privilege to now bring to the podium the President and CEO of the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, none other than Mrs. Nicole Austin Hillary.
Good morning. I am just elated to look out and see all of you. I wish you could see what I see. You all look, yes, thank you. You all look amazing. And I want to thank Representative Clark for her remarks and for her kind introduction. I feel like I owe you money for that introduction, Representative Clark. But listen, I want you all to know, as Representative Clark said, we knew that this year had to be different. We knew that this year our power, our collective unity had to be on display. And that's why we are here in Ward 8 in Southeast Washington, D.C., here at Sycamore and Oak. That is why we are here. I want to give a special thank you to someone who doesn't need recognition, but Mrs. Cora Masters-Berry. Who, when we said we wanted to be in the community, said absolutely, and I am going to partner with you, and I'm going to make sure this all happens. So a special thank you to our former First and Forever Lady of Washington, D.C. I also want to give a special thank you, and you will hear from him a little bit later, but the President and CEO of the National Urban League, Mark Morial, who you will hear from later today. Mark called me a few weeks ago, and you all know, when the leader of one of the major organizations calls, you don't let them go to voicemail. You don't ever let Mark Morial go to voicemail. And we had and actually it was before that, Mark and I ran into each other this summer at the airport, and he said, Nicole, what are we doing this year? This ALC is so important. He said, you've been telling everybody this ALC is critical. He said, what are we going to do? And we talked about this, and we said, we need to be with the community. We cannot, this is not business as usual. We have to show the country and the world that the Congressional Black Caucus, who are our nation's premier black leaders, these are the nation's premier black leaders. We need to show them that this leadership is standing with them and for them, and that this conference, which is the preeminent public policy conference where we focus on issues of concern for the black community, that we are standing up and for and giving voice to our communities, and will be doing so undeterred. And so that's why we are here at Sycamore and Oak this morning. I want to also let you know that the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, we are on the at the precipice of our 50th year anniversary. Next year will be 50 years of the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation. Those members, Ms. Shirley Chisholm, the first African-American woman to serve in Congress, they had a vision. Their vision was that we needed a foundation to do three key things: to create leadership opportunities for future black leaders, because they were very clear. They knew that young black folk were not getting the same opportunities to come to Washington as other young people. And they said, we've got to level that playing field. We need a foundation. They said, we don't have an entity that is doing research on policy issues that strengthen the black community and that give the members the materials and the information they need to legislate. We need a think tank. So they created the foundation. And finally, they said, we need a foundation that is going to provide public education all across the country, not just in Washington, but in our communities everywhere. And they said, we need the foundation. And that is how we were started. And that is the work that we continue to do. We ensure through our Leadership Institute that future Black leaders have the opportunities to have internships, fellowships, scholarships. And in fact, we, for the first time, are sending 2 fellows to the United Kingdom who will be Oxford Fellows. So that is how the legacy of their work continues. It is so powerful that we have you all here with us today. And just let's be clear. This week is about celebration. It is about celebration, and it is about strategy, and it is about sending all of our attendees off into the world with marching orders. I keep telling everybody looks pretty, they smell good, we know how we do, and we're going to have our cultural moments, but let's be very clear. We are leaving this conference with marching orders so that we can make this country true to its promise for our community. And we want folks to feel hopeful and empowered, and that's what these 4 days are about. And that's what your presence here is about for all of us. So I invite you to be with us over the next 4 days. I invite you to engage, to ask questions, to meet your neighbors, to meet folks from a different part of the country, and to be focused on this theme. When we came up with this theme, we knew this was the only theme that could be possible for this year, because we know as a people and as a community we are resilient. We know as a people and as a community our history is about overcoming, not just overcoming, but coming out on the other side even stronger. So that's what this moment is about. So I encourage you to continue working with us even beyond ALC, but this week, show up, stand proud, and do good work. So I want to now take this opportunity to introduce someone who really needs no introduction, but that I want you all to hear from, and that is our leader of the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation. She is none other than a voting rights leader, a leader of a community, a sister, a daughter of the South, an amazing leader who makes certain that at the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, we keep our eyes on the prize. So please join me in welcoming to the podium the representative from the great state of Alabama, 7th Congressional District, our Congressional Black Caucus Foundation Board Chair, Representative Terry Sewell.
Nicole can introduce me anytime. Good morning, everyone. I'm Congresswoman Sewell, and I am very honored to serve as the chair of the Board of Directors for the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation. I know that on behalf of the 36 members of the CBCF Board, I welcome you to the 54th Annual Legislative Conference. I saw some board members here. If you're a board member of the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, please wave your hand. Okay. Since its inception, the work of the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation in developing leaders, shaping policy, educating the public, has been grounded in the belief that our communities must not only be prepared for this moment, but positioned to lead throughout them. That is why this year's theme, Made for This Moment, Power, Policy, and Progress, cannot be more befitting. And although the challenges we face as a nation are great, so is our resolve. As chair of the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation Board of Directors, I can assure you that we are committed to our role in providing vision, oversight, and support that ensures that CBCF remains strong, sustainable, and prepared for the challenge ahead. We too are made for this moment. Our board brings together leaders from across industry and sectors, each bringing expertise, networks, and perspectives that help strengthen the reach of the CBCF and its impact. Our charge is not only to govern, but to position the foundation for growth, resilience, and reliance, and relevance in times like this. ALC represents the fulfillment of that charge. It is not simply a gathering, as others have said, but a testament to the power of collaboration and commitment. Over the next few days, the conversations we have will highlight the policies and priorities that we must guide and follow in order to prove this nation. These discussions are not just about putting policy ideas on paper. They are about charting a future that expands opportunity, deepens equity, and secures justice for generations to come. The Congressional Black Caucus has long been the conscience of the Congress. We are led ably by Chair Yvette Clarke, and we know that our legacy is deep. And we owe that legacy to the people of America, the African American people of America. And we know that our communities are what made us. Our communities give us our strength. Our communities undergird us. It is in the community that we wanted to be today for this press conference, because you cannot be made for this moment if you don't know your community. And we are grateful that Mayor Bowser is here with us. We are grateful to be right here at Sycamore and Oak. We are grateful. We stand with our mayor. We stand with this community, and we want everyone to know that we do. As we open ALC 54, let us step into the days ahead with clarity, with courage and conviction, and know that we as a board and as a community are indeed made for this moment. And now it is my great honor to introduce two leaders who are leading the effort for ALC 54. We have amazing co-chairs, and they are, in their own right, amazing people. I have to say, both are warriors of justice. Both champion equity and trusted voices for our communities. And I want to now introduce the very first African-American woman senator of the great state of Maryland, none other than our own Senator Angela Alsobrook, co-chair of ALC. I also want to bring up her other co-chair, none other than the amazing, the one and only man from Colorado, representing Colorado every day, and our assistant leader of the House of Representatives. We're very proud of that. Assistant leader of the House of Representatives, none other than my friend, Representative Joe Neguse. So our co-chairs deserve a round of applause. They have been working tirelessly to get us to this moment. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, good morning, everyone. Can we please say thank you so much to Chair Sewell. She's worked so very, very hard. We are so proud to have her at the helm. And what a wonderful day it is. You know, we did not thank the Howard University Bisons who got us started this morning. I want to thank them for kicking us off this morning and reminding us that joy is an act of resilience. So I want to thank them for that. It is such an honor to be here at Sycamore and Oaks, and to know that we have now been joined by one of the baddest women to have ever walked the streets of Washington, D.C., our Mayor Muriel Bowser. We're so honored to have her here. I know she's going to speak in just a moment, but I want history to be clear. It will record her as one of the most brilliant and courageous leaders our country has known. And I have been honored to work alongside her now for many, many years. I know we also have the visionary for this particular space, Monica Ray, who is here. Sycamore and Oaks want to just acknowledge her as well. So, you know, what a beautiful morning it is to be here, and I have the privilege of representing the beautiful state of Maryland. And I am also so thrilled to serve as the honorary co-chair for this year's annual legislative conference. And I have to tell you, it is such an honor because I am a part of this conference's legacy. I served as a Congressional Black Caucus intern 33 years ago in 1992. And what an honor it is to come back today for my very first conference as a senator. Standing here with all of you, I am also reminded why this gathering matters so deeply and that we are truly made for this moment. But I want to be clear that we don't need anyone really to remind us that we are made for this moment, because we are the truest patriots this country has ever known. a country that we work tirelessly on behalf of, even though we often love the country more than the country loves us. So we are not here today because we have anything to prove. I think we have already proven it again and again and again. And I love the words this morning that we are here to celebrate because we have much to celebrate. This week is packed, therefore, with opportunities for us to learn, engage, and take action. Today kicks off CBC member-led sessions and discussions that are designed to set the tone for the week and to empower us to champion the causes that open doors, expand opportunity, and give us the tools, not just to persevere. We're not here to live on the margins, but we know we want our kids and our kids' kids to live beyond their wildest dreams. Tomorrow, do not miss the National Town Hall that will be hosted by Joy Reid, where we will confront the very real assaults on progress facing our communities under the current administration. Panelists will break down how executive actions, partisan redistricting, and federal overreach are rolling back decades of progress and widening inequities, particularly for Black communities. More importantly, this town hall is a call to action, equipping us with strategies to push back, defend our rights, and advance racial equity. Thursday evening, we celebrate the extraordinary and super bad women leading in our communities at the Sojourner Truth Women of Truth Awards. Featuring the Grammy-nominated artist, y'all, we're in for a treat, Leela James. And this reception will honor women who embody Sojourner Truth's fearless spirit of justice, equality, and vision. It's a moment to uplift and recognize the leaders who are shaping a brighter future for all of us. And on Friday night, I want y'all to get ready for one of the signature events of the week, the Black Party with DJ D Nice. This party is more than a celebration. It's a part of the Emerging Leaders series, giving young professionals a space to connect, celebrate, and be inspired. It's proof that our legacy, creativity, and joy are always at the center of progress. And don't stay out too late, I have to tell you, on Friday night, because Saturday is going to kick off with the Day of Healing Prayer Breakfast, and it will be led by the preeminent, and I dare say one of the greatest theologians, it will be told, of our day, Reverend Dr. Howard John Wesley of the historic Alpha Street Baptist Church in neighboring Alexandria, Virginia, will be on board to bring a word from the Lord. He will be joined by musical guests, and I have to just say so, and Dr. Barbara Skinner is here as well, and we are unashamed to say that Anthony Brown and Group Therapy, who are our church members, will be there to bring us music on Saturday. This moment of reflection and spiritual renewal reminds us that sustaining progress also requires care for our minds, hearts, and communities. And the truth is, we are at a pivotal moment. The challenges before us are real, but so is our capacity to meet them head on. From today's sessions to the town hall, awards, celebrations, and prayer, every part of this week embodies our theme, made for this moment, power, policy, and progress. We are equipped, we are ready, and we are committed to creating lasting change for our communities, our country, and our future. And so it is now my pleasure to turn over this program to my very able, I have been so lucky to be co-chair with Colorado's congressman from the 2nd District, Joe Neguse, who will continue to guide us through the highlights of this remarkable week. Congressman Neguse.
Well, good morning. First and foremost, I don't think that we truly recognized the barrier-breaking, trailblazing United States Senator who is serving as the honorary co-chair of this wonderful event, the first Black U.S. Senator from the state of Maryland, the state of Frederick Douglass, Angela Also Brooks. I know Prince George's County, the state of Maryland, and Black folks across the country are very proud of you. So we're grateful to you, and I couldn't be more honored to participate with you as an honorary co-chair of this year's festivities and this important conference. And of course, very grateful to Chairwoman Clark, to Chairwoman Sewell, to Chair Emeritus Beatty, each of whom lead us so ably at such a critical moment in our country's history. I couldn't be more excited to help kick off the 54th Annual Legislative Conference. As you heard from every one of the preceding speakers, this is a watershed moment, in my view, for our republic. Our foundational values are being tested, and the rights, the freedoms that so many, including many here in this room, fought to secure are under attack. And so it strikes me that every participant in this year's conference, Americans across the country, have a very simple and yet profound choice to make: to sit back or to stand up. And the answer to that question, as far as the Congressional Black Caucus is concerned, is without a doubt the latter. Because I cannot think of a single time in which the CBC and the CBCF has chose anything other than the latter, believing that progress is not inevitable but intentional. And that, as Chair Sewell said, that to build a more inclusive, more just democracy, we dedicate our time and our energy and our vision to make it a reality. And that's precisely what this year's conference, made for this moment, power, policy, progress, fundamentally is all about. It is what those important sessions, which will commence today, are all about. A time for us to come together across generations, across states, across communities, to share solutions and strategize against the urgent challenges that we are facing. It is a time for us to stand up, because that is the spirit of the Black Caucus, and that is the spirit of this conference. And of course, among the many dignitaries that we have gathered here today who I think embody that spirit of standing up, perhaps none more salient, more boldly, than a man who is no stranger, as you all well know, to speaking out or raising the voices around him. And that is the President and the Chief Executive Officer of the National Urban League, Marc Morial.
Good morning. Issue having been joined, let's put our hands together one more time for all of the members of the Congressional Black Caucus, our leaders and chairs. And I especially want to acknowledge the mayor of this city, my longtime friend, who has, because respectfully, being a member of Congress is tough, but running a major American city is like being amongst alligators, crocodiles, and serpents all the time. Mayor Bowser, thank you for being here. And also the forever First Lady of the great city of Washington, Cora Masters Barry, my friend, my mama, in so many respects. Let's give her a big warm round of applause. And to you, Barbara Williams Skinner, too. Here is what I want to say. It is noteworthy that we are here at Sycamore and Oak. It is noteworthy that we are in Ward, say it? Say it again. That we're in Ward 8 in Southeast Washington. And I want to tell you why. Some people say that the Ward 8s of America are places of crime and destruction and all things negative. I say to all of them within earshot and beyond, let them come to Sycamore and Oak. And some people today want to cast the communities that we serve, whether it be in Brooklyn or Birmingham or Colorado Springs or New Orleans or Atlanta or the south side of Chicago, as somehow places of nothing but negativity and pathology. And I say to all of them who say that, they have never been to the south side of Chicago, Trey May in New Orleans. They've never been to Birmingham or Atlanta. We're here because we want the world to see, right here at Sycamore and Oak, these entrepreneurs, this Howard University band, these artists of people in our community striving and thriving and enlivening. We will not and we cannot be silent while narratives are produced and created that our people, our community, and our history has no worth. When you hear it, I don't want you to get angry. I want you to get indignant. Anger has no purpose. Indignant is emotion for a purpose and for a cause. So, Nicole, I am proud to stand with the foundation today. And I think I can say on behalf of the community of civil rights leaders, certainly all of my colleagues in the National Urban League, you're going to hear from Siobhan in a minute. We have assiduously and carefully sought over the last decade to work together, to separate ourselves from the crab in the barrel mentality, from somehow that we are competing with each other for a stage or for likes or for Instagram followers. That we can, in our own leadership circles, debate and discuss. But when we walk out, our community must see us unified. They must see us standing together. And today is about that. All of us standing together. Look, you all have 60, Joe, 60. That's a lot to keep together. 62. I didn't know how y'all count because I know y'all count some and don't count everybody. But let me just say this. I want to bring my remarks to a close this way. What is it that we need to be united about in this moment? I want to assert that we should be united around three things. Number one, the defense of democracy. And that means everything from the First Amendment, the right to speak, the right to learn, the right to assemble, to the fundamental promise made by the 15th Amendment to this Constitution, and that is the commitment to voting rights. Unfettered, with no suppression and no games, we must stand united in that cause, and we must speak truth to power and speak truth to our allies on that issue. No compromise, no yield. Second, we must demand diversity, equity, and inclusion, not because we are in love with nomenclature or a slogan, but because equal opportunity was the promise of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. It was the promise of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, when Adam Clayton Powell and Bill Dawson of Chicago, Gus Hawkins of Los Angeles, Charles Diggs of Detroit formed a caucus of 5, fighting in Congress while Dr. King and Whitney Young and John Lewis and Malcolm X and Stokely Carmichael agitated on the outside. So we demand diversity, equity, and inclusion because it is a promise, our birthright. And the third thing, we must defeat poverty. which really means we want economic policies that benefit everyone. And if there's one place where the work unfinished is so stark, it is when it comes to the income gap and the wealth gap and the entrepreneurship gap and the venture capital gap and the access to loans gap in this country. So what I'm saying is we got to play offense and unite ourselves about what we are about. And we must speak consistently, loudly, and intelligently. Black Americans and our allies have taught this nation how to fight with our heads and with our hearts. Not with a bayonet, not with a stick, not with long, loud, angry voices. So that's how we should stay united today. The great Bob Marley, he told us Africa must unite. I'm here to say, Black America, we must unite. So with that, please greet my colleague, Siobhan Arline Bradley. She is an ordained minister. She is a graduate of Tulane University. She has worked for me, but she's worked for the Surgeon General, the NAACP, but now she has come into her own in a very powerful way on the shoulders of Mary McLeod Bethune and Dorothy Height as the president of the National Council of Negro Women.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be here. You know this is a dance to try to run across the city. I do have to be going. I want to thank you for your flexibility. To our leadership that's here. Sister Nicole, I want to honor you and honor all of our congressional leaders who are in the House today. There is something that I want to very clearly say, and that is in 1 John 3 and 4, anyone who practices lawlessness is a sinner. And so where we are in this moment is we are seeing practices of lawlessness, and I call it sin in the nation. And so today, as the CEO of the only organization that is Black and woman owned that sits on Pennsylvania Avenue with a Black woman mayor, I say the names of Alexis Herman and Dorothy Height and Mary McLeod Bethune, that in only 246 days, this administration has shown us they will gut the work. Dismantling DEI, gutting SNAP, Medicaid, Medicare, and massive job layoffs. And yes, Black women, over 318,000 Black women have lost their jobs. I come to say very quickly, we are made for this moment. As a community that has a buying power of over $2.1 trillion, 52% of that $2.1 trillion spending are Black women. And yet and still, we stand as the sole source of many households, making only 64 cents on every one white male dollar. When Black women are on the losing end in policy, the world is on the losing end in policy. And history tells us we are made for this moment. We are made to pass this test. NCNW is here not only with the CBC, but also with the state of the people, about to serve the community right here in Southeast Washington, D.C. And as I close, almost 90 years later, our founder, Dr. Bethune, outlined a formula in our mission, and that we must lead, empower, and advocate women of African descent, their families, and their communities. It's going to take us standing strong, standing collective, and standing with conviction, united in this fight. And this is how I believe we will meet this moment. God bless you all. To my board, my leaders, I thank you. And I believe I'm turning it back over to Senator Alston-Brooks. And Senator Alston-Brooks, is that right? All right, Senator Alston-Brooks, thank you all so much.
So I am honored. I wanted to make sure that I was the person who would have the opportunity to introduce this super bad woman. You know, there is a concept in the law, res ipsa loquitur, which essentially means the act speaks for itself. And as of our mayor, I can say that the act truly does speak for itself. She doesn't have to say a word. Just look all around this city where you will see her work is evidenced in every corner of the city, from a new hospital that is soon rising to becoming a powerhouse sports and entertainment center of the world. You'll notice that you've seen great economic investment. I've driven through the city, and it is absolutely amazing what she has done, overseeing against the toughest of time the driving down of crime in Washington, D.C. No matter what they say, look at the numbers, read it for yourself. The facts don't lie. She's also an incredible mother to a young daughter, and she is just a super bad and incredible person. I have such an honor to have worked with her now over a decade. Please help me to welcome the captain of this ship, the mayor of the District of Columbia, the capital of our country, Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Thank you. Well, good morning, everybody. And as we say here, welcome to the great Ward 8. So give a round of applause to all the Ward 8 visionaries that have helped us be here, Monica Ray, First Lady Barry, and to all of our CBC members. Please give them a hand. Chairwoman Clark, Senator Also Brooks, Congressman Nagoose, and all the members of Congress who are here. This is what I know. When we have a fight on the Hill, we never have to fight the CBC because we tell the CBC what's going on, what we need, and we can always count on their help and support. I want to thank the chairwoman. When the first news of the incursion broke, one of the first calls I got was from the chairwoman who said, I'm going to pull together an emergency call with the CBC. And within a couple of hours, so many CBC members dialed in, joined, and said, what can we do to help? So I want to thank you for that. You heard a little bit from the super bad senator from the great state of Maryland, my friend Angela Also Brooks. So I'll just say it now, mark my words, watch her. Better watch her. America's not ready for her. Watch her. And I want to thank her for always being there as a sounding board and as a friend. So let me give you a few facts about the real DC. Coming into 2025, and you know what that means, not with this one, but before this one, DC was the fastest growing jurisdiction in the nation. Student enrollment and achievement in our schools was outpacing all of our peers nationwide. We have a AAA bond rating, which means DC is a great bet to do business. We had passed 30 consecutive balanced budgets. We brought down violent crime by 35%. We're a truly beautiful, green, walkable, livable city across all 8 wards, including the Great Ward 8. We have the #1 park system in the nation. And our history and our culture, no offense, Mark, is second to none in the United States. Last year, 27 million people visited Washington, D.C., besting our previous record. So that is a place that is beautiful, clean, and safe, where people want to live and raise their children. That is the real D.C. Now, let me brag about Ward 8 for a minute, which is where we are. And when I ran for mayor, and you'll appreciate this, Mr. Mayor, my promise to Ward 8 was, I won't be like some other politicians who came at election time and never came back. And this Congress Heights development where we are is a promise made and a promise kept, where we didn't have activity, and now we've invested over $1 billion in this Congress Heights alone. We have a new hospital. We have a Whitman Walker Clinic. We have a professional sports team at our practice facility in the home of the Washington Mystics. And we have hundreds of new Ward 8 residents. That is the story of DC. And I know you will help me tell the rest of the story, because one byproduct of when we have some national attention is our fellow Americans realize that we're not just like them. Even though we're full-blooded Americans, even though we pay taxes, even though we go to war, and even though we're right here a stone's throw from the Capitol, our Congresswoman doesn't have a vote, and we have no representation in the Senate. We are the definition of being taxed without being represented. And so what is even more clear that we're not represented, we're also not fully autonomous, because the President of the United States, by law, by our own home rule charter, can take us over for almost no reason. So what is the solution? Statehood for Washington, D.C. And so I hesitate to say statehood for Washington, D.C., because what it is statehood for America, for the people of Washington, D.C. Because when we are fully represented, the Senate is more complete. The ideas of all Americans are included. And that is the only way that we'll be fully represented and fully autonomous. I know when it happens, and it will happen, it will be the CBC that's at the forefront, and the CBC that's in the lead, and the CBC that will deliver it for Washington, D.C. So I always say this too, as I said to the chair, thank you for hosting this event in Washington, D.C. Thank you for bringing thousands of people to fill our hotels, go to our restaurants, learn about all 8 wards and the great culture of our city. And thank you for being not only the conscience of the Congress, but the action in the Congress. Thank you, everybody.
Y'all are ready now, aren't you? Everybody is ready to get up and get started on ALC. I just want to close us out quickly and again say thank you. Thank you to the community. Again, you all need to see what I see. There are just people everywhere. Chairwoman Clark and Chairwoman Sewell, when we've had our opening press conference in the convention center, I've never seen this many people. This speaks to the fact that we are made for this moment, and we are ready to move our community forward. So thank you all. And I want to acknowledge this also, that we in this moment, the reason why you heard from Mark Morial, the reason why you heard from Reverend Siobhan is because we knew this moment, as I said at the start, had to be different. Not only did you need to hear from the members, not only did you need to hear from CBCF leadership, but you needed to know that, as Mark said, the community of civil rights and social justice leadership is unified in this moment. So I'm going to ask that those leaders and their organizations stand, because they need to be recognized. We are joined today by the Joint Center for Political and Economic Studies, the Association of Black Foundation Executives, the African American Policy Forum, the NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund Incorporated, the Brennan Center for Justice, the National Fair Housing Alliance, and AIR Opportunity Fund. Please give a round of applause to these amazing leaders and their organizations. They are in the trenches doing this work every day in partnership with CBC and CBCF, and we thank you all. So I have nothing more to say. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Chairwoman Clark. And you just heard Mr. Morial talk about the freedoms that we need to protect in this country, and one of them is the First Amendment. Thank you to the members of the press for being here today, for allowing us to be seen and to be heard. And again, lastly, thank you to the community. We could not do this without all of you. We could not do this without all of you. Now, I have to tell you, there's one last thing that is a part of why we are in the community today. We didn't just want to come and have a press conference. We wanted to have action. You've heard that. You've heard us talk about taking this moment and moving it into action. I want to let you know that following the press conference, and just a little bit later, the State of the People, whom you have heard about the amazing work they've been doing throughout the country. They've been hosting conversations, being in community across the country to talk about the issues. They are hosting an activation of community service immediately following this press conference. The State of the People is led by none other than an amazing leader, a woman who speaks truth to power, who gives voice to community, and herself is the former executive director of the Congressional Black Caucus, Ms. Angela Rye. And I want Angela to give you your final marching orders so you can go from the press conference into the community and into activation. And I look forward to seeing all of you over the next 4 days at the annual legislative conference. Angela, put us to work. I said that.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, still good morning, everyone. I will not be before you long. I just want to say thank you so much to our partners at the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, our members who are my forever executive director, and my forever boss, Vince Evans, who is the current executive director. Please give it up for Vince Evans. He works hard, y'all. I'm very, very grateful for Vince. And for all the members, Congresswoman Clark, our chair, I just want to let you all know there are members of our community who are experiencing so much trouble right now. Trials and tribulations are being experienced on every side, and one of the things we realized during the State of the People Power Tour is we are so much better together. We are so much stronger together. It is imperative for us in this moment to come together in ways we never have. That little beef you have, it's time to let it go. The thing that person did to you 15 years ago that you don't remember, you got to release it. We have to get free, right? And the only way we get free as Black people is to come together to ensure that we are all working inherently in our gifts. And so today we have Black farmers. Turn to your neighbor and say, Black farmers. They are giving away fresh, free produce. We don't know what the food supply chain is going to look like, so we need to be connected to our Black farmers, right? We have a shoe giveaway. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a little bit of a sneakerhead. You can't tell with these on today. But we have a shoe giveaway and a gift card giveaway. We want to inspire our young folks. For those who are no longer in school, we are not asking any children to skip school. And then for those others who are working today but can join us on our lunch break, we have free food from some of the amazing Sycamore and Oak vendors. And please give it up to Sycamore and Oak for hosting this. This is a beautiful facility. And then certainly last but not least, I would love if our team, our volunteers could come up this way if you all can be seen. All of our vendors and resources. Ms. Clark said she wanted to ensure that people were equipped. So we have resources here today. I don't know how quickly they're moving, but if not, you all will see them around. With that said, I want you all to remember the Congressional Black Caucus is the conscience of the Congress. And so it is imperative for us to be the conscience of the community, to be the conscience of the culture. And the only way, again, we do that is to know what is before us so we know how to proceed. Thank you all so much for being here today. Take care.